Welcome back to Business and Politics. We're talking to Mr. Nico Leibenguth of SkySails. We were talking about the comparison between your system and the traditional windmills that we see. How is it different from, say, solar? What are the advantages and disadvantages? I think you worked in solar before.
Yes.
But you know, where do you see advantages of your system relative to that system?
There are a couple of advantages compared with the traditional wind systems. The first thing is a footprint.
Okay,
we have
smaller.
And talking about solar, because you were asking about solar.
Yeah.
For solar, you need much bigger footprint to install, for example, a 200 kilowatt solar array.
Right.
We need 35 square meters.
All right.
To produce 200 kilowatt power.
So that ground is going to be open for agriculture or for other things, right?
We do not have conflicts when it comes to land conversion.
Okay.
Which is often a problem when we are talking about projects where we want to install solar systems, where we have problems in this country to convert it into industrial land. With 35 square meters, it is a quite easy thing to talk about. That is one great thing. The second thing is the advantage is the rigging time. When the foundation is done, which is basically a tripod made of steel.
It's not like the foundation that we see for windmills.
No, by far not.
Okay.
By far not. We only go 40 centimeter deep.
Okay, so it's just like a countryside home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like for your cupola.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And then we place our container, and it's like a turntable. So it can move in 360 degrees following the wind direction. And we say the rigging time, only the rigging time is not more than 24 hours. And the system is ready for commissioning.
I see. Now you've been, been in the Philippines on and off, as I understand, for 2 decades if you put it all, back to back.
Yeah.
And you've been obviously in the renewables energy business for a long time. Why does wind make the most sense, right? As opposed to, I will talk about solar, but there are other forms of renewables that we can talk about. But why does this make sense?
Yes, absolutely right. Especially the high airborne wind energy,
right?
Where we tap the steady wind streams, as I mentioned before. The big advantage is we have 24-hour energy, which we can tap and harvest, rather than what we do with a solar arrangement, where we have to have batteries in case we want to supply renewable energy made out of solar during the night times. So that makes the systems expensive.
Okay.
And just thinking about a business case where you have a hybrid system, where you have a microgrid or mini grid, which typically comes with batteries for the storage of the energy produced during the day for the consumption at the night, you can minimize the amount of batteries you have in by using a SkySail. Plus, you have additional redundancy.
Okay.
So if one system fails, you still have a redundancy.
Well, what's the redundancy?
Redundancy, you have a second source.
Right, okay.
Not only a single source.
Oh, the SkySail would be the redundancy.
Right.
I see. So because the wind is constant, does that address the base load issue that most people, raise as an objection to renewables?
We can say it's a base load or even mission critical infrastructure, which you need to supply with power, with energy.
Right.
Such systems are interesting.
Right.
And also, for example, for mobile applications where you need to move.
Right.
Imagine you put this system on a barge or on a raft and bring it to the islands where you need energy. So just tucking it there.
So it's portable?
Of course, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Even you can put it on a trailer.
Right. I've seen your website. It's on the back of a lorry, but I couldn't tell whether it's transporting the equipment or it's actually a portable unit by itself.
Both. Yes.
Both.
There are certain applications, for example, in the mining industry, where they are moving, and the wind, the generator basically follows according to the progress you make with the mining.
Right. Now, obviously, this system probably won't work in an urban center like Manila, where we have lots of buildings, right?
Yeah.
So what is a suitable location for the type of system that SkySails is offering?
Well, basically we can say we need to have a wider safety area where we do not want to see people living.
Okay.
It can be industry. That is not the problem. It can be even a solar facility.
Okay.
A solar facility is perfect, by the way.
Okay.
Because you can also make this solar facility producing energy at night.
Okay.
Because we have everything already there. We have a grid connection, we have the medium voltage transformer, all these things. It's just placing the container.
So you can retrofit the solar field into a SkySails
Yes, you can
system.
upgrade it.
Okay.
Right? And especially when looking into the future, we are talking about the bigger power classes. We're talking about megawatt kites. Then definitely it's get interesting for the large solar facilities to think about implementing, embedding a kite.
Yeah, but is it better on a relatively flat terrain? Would it work in, let's say, in the mountain region up north, for instance?
Yeah.
Or is it something suitable to coastal areas? What is the ideal, landscape for your system?
For the landing and launching of this system, we need around 80 to 100 meter in radius, which we need to have free of trees or of course.
So just like any kind, it can get caught up in.
You know that when you were a child, you had to look that you have a free area.
Yeah.
But when within this area, whatever it is, if it is a coastal area, or if it is a mountain area, whatever, we can start and operate the kites. But to answer your question, it is of course better when you have an area where you don't have trees or higher buildings, where you create friction and turbulences. Shoreline is perfect. Yeah? Where you have a steady stream, it's also making it easier for us to start. The summit of mountains is perfect because we have the upstream winds coming from the mountains. Perfect locations for placing such kind of technology.
Right. Of course, the Marcos government has put a lot of interest in developing renewables.
Yes.
But I think we will hear from you whether that has been translated into policies that make it easier. Are you talking to specific clients in the Philippines? I mean, what kind of clients are you looking for, by the way? Are you looking for local governments, private sector, or it can be both?
It can be both.
Okay.
Because we know the problems the Philippines are facing in regards to the electrification of remote areas, especially when we talk about the financial. The so-called levelized cost of energies, when we are looking, for example, a diesel power plant on a remote island, can be very high and very expensive. It can be much more than even 1.5 USD per kilowatt hours. So typically that is quite heavy subsidized by the government. And talking here to the official side, giving them solutions how they can come down with the costs of the production of energy. Plus, we have to follow the Kyoto Protocol. We have also to transform not only the Philippines, all countries in the world have to come to a point to lower the emissions of carbon. And here we are talking about a renewable energy solution. It is absolute carbon free.
Right. So are you looking to contribute to the existing grid, or are you looking at areas that are not connected to the grid and are looking for power source, or are you doing both?
We can doing both.
Okay.
We can embed this system into an existing grid.
Okay.
That can be the national grid, that can be a microgrid, a mini grid, that can be a dedicated off-taker who is consuming this energy completely. It can also be new projects. It can be new projects where we look into electrification of remote islands, for example, or resource who want to get rid of their diesels. And then we design a system with a kite.
Right.
I have to say, most probably it is a part of a solution.
Okay.
Not only just a single kite. So there will be maybe a solar combination, maybe water hydro combination. There will be batteries. It is a typical part of a hybrid system.
And what has the reception been so far? I mean, are they excited, the people you talk to, or are they throwing out a number of bureaucratic roadblocks at you, or what kind of reception are you getting?
That is really the amazing thing of this technology. Okay. Whoever comes in and whoever sees this technology the first time, he is flashed. He say, "Wow, that is cool. We have never seen such kind of technology." I mean, that is also a landmark. When you have such kind of a kite, you see it already from far distance. So it is really exciting to see the process of launching the system, and when it is flying in figures of 8 producing this energy, it is really an amazing technology. And people quickly say, "Oh, we want to know more about that. We want to know how can we integrate this in a problem we actually face because solar may be not working or the big windmills are not working." That's the thing what we are looking for.
Right. Now, is this technology being used in Germany already, or do you have another market, maybe another country where you have an operating unit?
Yeah. Yes, we have. Our R&D site, which is in the northern part of Germany, near the coast of the North Sea.
Okay.
We have a kite which is flying already 3.5 years. But this is more our internal R&D kite, where we try new software, where we are trying.
So this is where you're experimenting.
Exactly, where we learn and improve. The first semi-commercial system, which is now flying in Mauritius, is installed nearly a year ago, and since 6-7 months now it's automatically flying, and the system is producing energy. That is a project with the government, where we also, both sides, learn how we can expand the system. They want to see that it works, and they are very happy with the results. It's exceeding what we expect, and I'm pretty sure we will have more projects in Mauritius.
Well, before we go on break, Nico, are you talking to any particular client that's really serious in partnering with you? And are we going to see a project in the Philippines within a year or next 2 years?
I hope much faster.
Okay.
We are in talks with a bundle of people from government sector as well as from private sector.
Anything you can disclose?
No, I can't. I don't want to do that at that point here in this place. But believe me, we are in discussions with that, and many people are asking for meetings to learn more about this technology.
Well, tell me during the break, so we can do a story on. We'll be right back with SkySails. This is Business and Politics.